Alright, you guys, let's get this video started. Seems like everything is up and running. I think I got everything to work except my let me see, I'm trying to figure this out, y'all. 2 seconds. Alright, but we're going to be looking at the afternoon session, you guys, and I'm going to be showing you guys how today. Well, actually, before we even get into this video, you guys, welcome back. For the new people who's going to be watching this channel, my name is Deontay Long, also known as the Trucking Trader. And the reason why my name is the Trucking Trader is simply because I'm a truck driver, day trader, right? Trucking Trader, very simple to remember, you know, but it's also a brand that's centered around just the everyday person, you guys. So, you know, I feel like trading is something that the everyday person can accomplish, all right? So, I want to show you guys that I did make some profits in my funded account today. I was screaming earlier. I did take a loss. Earlier, we can look at those losses from earlier. Right, and I can also show you guys the small little profits that I have. Right, I can show y'all the small profits right there. Right, so as y'all can see, this is a 100K account funded. We are up about 4,200 right now on this 100K account. Right, so we did start off. We was very patient. I was telling y'all I wanted to wait for the hourly candle to close, right? We didn't get this screen on YouTube, but we did get it on Facebook, right? So it will be there. It's time stamped. So I wanted to see a close above this swing high on the hourly time frame, and then this swing high. So this first candle right here, 10 a.m. candle, it did give us the close above this swing high, but it did not give us a close above that swing high. So that is how I was trying to explain it the best way I could, but what I was trying to tell you guys is that is the way that, you know, you're going to have to deal with some chop for a little while, right? The market isn't just going to go straight up to where we think it's going to go. If you guys look back in the video, right, we was calling for a price. Wait, what is this? What time frame is this? Is this the 1 hour? Did I go too far back? All right, here we go. This is where we need to be. So on a 1 hour time frame, I was calling for prices to get in this zone right here, where this first presented fair value gap is at. All right, this is what I was calling for. But I told you guys we had to get through this new week opening gap first, right? This little purple box on my chart. So what we did was we dropped down into the 5-minute time frame and we started to look for trades. And I told you guys I wanted to take a buy from this 5-minute order block right here. Right? This order block, this big red candle right here, that's an order block. Right? So I wanted to take trades from there, but I'm going to show you guys what I ended up doing instead, because with the experience that I have, I was able to realize that the market is going to want to do what? It's going to want to build out some liquidity, right? So maybe for the afternoon session, you know, if we get this spike down, right? If we get this spike down, maybe I can still take a scalp from that direction, right? But for the morning session, I was telling you guys this was our target, right? Obviously, it could get here, but this has to be our first target, this purple box, which is the new week opening gap from January the 11th, 2026. right? So on my first trade, I was doing something a little bit stupid. I got a little impatient, and I definitely took a loss because I was trying to use these little order blocks. Now, down here on the 5-minute time frame, or I'm sorry, on the 1-minute time frame, when the market was coming down here and I called that trade out, you can use those order blocks. These are much safer to use because you still have so much room to go up, right? Versus up here when I tried to do it, it didn't work, right? Plus price was being held down by this volume imbalance. Luckily for me, right, with proper risk management skills, I took a 0.5% loss one time. I took a 0.5% loss the second time, right? So I'm down 1%. Then I told you guys, I was getting ready to end the screen at about 10:35, right? So y'all didn't even, up until here, I was gone, right? So I'm going to break down the trades that you guys wasn't able to see because I had to end the screen because I had to run to the dentist and everything else, right? So right here, we made a swing high. Where this yellow line is, I'm gonna move it up a little bit so y'all can see that. We made a swing high right here. So price went all the way back up, faked a lot of traders out. This volume imbalance still held price down. So I took a sell from here. Took a sell, got some decent profits right there. And that was that, right? And then as the market continued to break down, I added again because this right here is a breakaway gap. And that, in this case, I'm looking for the market to go back down here, right? This is where that 5 hour, I'm sorry, not the 5 hour. This is where where's the prices? All right, so this 5-minute order block right here, I'm looking for the price to come into this zone. So when I'm on a 1-minute time frame and then the price is coming down, I know sometimes it's going to stop right before our target and reverse, right? Because that's how the market likes to build liquidity. Right? This is how the market likes to build liquidity out. So I actually took profits down here. Notice that we're around what? The midpoint of the opening range gap. So this is another target, right? This is why ICT always talk about how the midpoint of any of these gaps is so significant, right? Obviously it wasn't perfect, but it went to this zone and reversed. So we know that we wanted it to get down here, but we know that the market is going to also do a build out liquidity. Plus, this is also why you should be trailing your stop loss, because even if you don't understand all of that, what I just said, if you're trailing your stop loss, right? Let's say you get into this sell right here, the way I did, you got a very tight stop, you're just trusting it, very tight stop, but the trade ended up working out. As soon as this gap right here is created, I'm going to put my stop loss right here, right? So the gap we're looking at is right here, where this little arrow is pointing to. As soon as this gap is created, I'm going to move my stop right there, right? Notice how price never gets back to this yellow line. Then we was able to keep going, right? Then as soon as it make another breakaway gap right here, I'm going to move my stop right there again. So now we're looking at this gap right here, right? I'm going to move my stop right here. And then here, you know, once it gets a little choppy in there, you could pretty much close that trade. Otherwise, the market will close it for you, right? And then that's how you protect your trade. And that's how you also know when the market is getting ready to reverse. So when the market started to reverse, I pretty much used this breakaway gap right here for a stop loss. You know, initially I was using it, but then just to be safe, I moved it down. But you can see it never came close either way it go, right? And then I rolled this up as much as I could, and then I just took profits, right? And then I had another little scalp in here. I added right there, rolled that up, moved my stop, got stopped out, right? So that's how I ended up being in profits for the day. Just understanding that the markets are likely going to be choppy, right? It's not going to go down as far as I want it to go down. So I'm going to just take these little scalps, right? And I was also able to, I was able to put that together as well, because y'all remember I missed this trade right here, and I was like, man, I should go for this scalp right here. I seen it setting up, but I didn't go for it, and it turned out to be a really good scalp. So that showed me, I'm like, you know what? It may be a good day to scalp today. Right? Now y'all can see, as we get ready to open up at 1:30, right? We have already hit the midpoint of this new week opening gap, right? And notice how these bodies are closing on the 1 minute time frame. So at the end of the day, price is still going up, because just for you guys who wasn't here earlier on the screen, the reason why this was a target for us, this first presented fair value gap, and this is also the bottom level of this new day opening gap from December the 12th, or I'm sorry, December the 11th, 2025, right? What we did was we measured out this wick, right? So let me remove this vertical line. This long wick right here, I'm going to remove my drawing so y'all can see a little bit better. This long wick, we measured this out, right? We measured this long wick, and we said that price will likely want to draw up to possibly the midpoint of this wick today, right? So we was using that as a target. So when you draw back into the 1 hour time frame, it should be somewhere up here, right? But when I put everything back on my chart, it's right here. The midpoint is about right there. Right. Plus we also have some liquidity right here. I don't really know if it's going to take that liquidity or not. We're not going to really know until we can get above this swing high right here on the hourly chart. So I told you guys I'm not really looking to trade London this year. I'm not really looking to trade Asian. I'm not looking to trade the evening session. I'm really just here right now kicking it with y'all, trying to pretty much break down price and help y'all learn something today. Right? But this is what I would be looking for. All right, we need to wait for like these hourly candles to close. Same thing we did this morning, y'all. Same thing, right? We need this to know that we're going to remain bullish and get to these levels, right? Maybe we even get to this level right here and still close a bit bearish. We need to wait for the hourly time frame to tell us what to do. Otherwise, you can get tricked out of so many different trades, right? And especially because we're green on a day, right? We're already green on a day. There's no reason for us to force it, and we want to get a good start to our week. Even though we're only up about $480 on our prop firm account, it doesn't even matter, right? We know we can have bigger days, but we just want to make something, right? We just want to make a little bit of money today and keep it pushing, right? So I'm probably just going to be watching this from the hourly for the most part. I mean, we can watch it from the 1 minute. If y'all want to really start studying the 1 minute time frame, I think it's a really important time frame to learn. But it takes a lot of work to master that 1 minute time frame. But let's say if we wanted to go up here and then shoot all the way down, which I don't think is going to happen. I can see the market just consolidating right here for a long time. And then maybe if it do anything else for the rest of the day, you know, maybe it may sweep at least one of these areas of liquidity, right? I don't know if it's going to take them all, right? But we're going to be watching these lows right here. Right, because we know the bulls been in profits all day. We know if the bulls get too greedy, the NASDAQ gonna come back around and it's gonna put some belt to ass on the bulls. But I want to see what's going to happen then. We can look at the 5 minute too, right? We're inside of this little range on the 5 minute. So I'm expecting for the market to build out some more liquidity right here. So if we do get a pullback, you know, it could just keep doing this for the rest of the day, right? It could just bounce around this level for the rest of the day. That's why I say, like, if I take a trade, for one, I want it to be a really good trade, and then two, it has to be a scalp. 3, risk management, right? We have to have we can't be risking too much of our profits that we made on a day, right? That's not discipline. But if we measure out this swing low up to the swing high up here, right? So if you look at the screen, the swing low is this little red circle right here, and then the swing high is this yellow circle. We're inside of a range right now. Then we have this little fair value gap on the 5 minute chart. All right, we're just going to make that orange for now. All right, then we also have a inversion fair value gap right below it, right? I'm just going to label that so I can at least know which one is which. All right. So I'm definitely expecting liquidity to be built out somewhere around here. Right, like let's say if we tried to catch a falling knife for a scalp, and then we would have to use this as a stop loss. This would be the safer stop loss to use, but if it breaks through this, then you know it's just over, right? It's nothing you can do. So this is what I'm going to have pretty much mapped out on my chart. All right, so I definitely think the market is going to pull back right? Look at how we're respecting this purple box, which is the new week opening gap. We break down into the 1 minute time frame. Right, it's not 1:30 yet, so I don't want to get faked out. Right, we do have a little bit of something right here on the 1 minute time frame. Right, we got a little liquidity right there. We're gonna see how the market wants to take this liquidity right here. Then we have a little bit of a gap right there. Right, and as of now, the market is trying to act like this is a potential breakaway gap, but I definitely don't trust this as a potential breakaway gap. And the reason why is because we have way too much liquidity down here. So like I said, for the evening session, I don't know how much liquidity we're going to aim for today. All right. Remember, this is our swing low to swing high on a 5 minute time frame. But we're just building out more and more liquidity, right? So we're going to see how we can take this Fibonacci tool off the chart, starting to become a little bit too crowded. So we can see how it's going to do what it do right here. Right, whenever you see a wick like this, always be aware of this wick, and that's on any time frame. So, and I'm going to teach you, I'm almost 100% sure I'm going to show you why in a second. We have not hit the midpoint of this wick yet. It don't have to hit the midpoint of this wick, mainly because it already hit the midpoint of the new week opening gap. But sometimes on the smaller time frame, when it builds liquidity up here like this, these little two equal highs, typically what it's going to do is, like right now, it's making people think it's going down. Right? So it make you think it's going down. Look at how we just touched that. Right? Look at how we just touched that line right there. Now it's reacting. So I don't trade this anymore. I used to trade. This is how I know this stuff, because I used to trade this stuff, and I used to get chopped up in here like all the time. Right, so this is like, they're trying to present this as like a potential breakaway gap. Make people think, oh man, the market is going down, right? Because it just swept liquidity, right? It just swept this liquidity. Now it's going down. It should be, moving really fast. But me, I would not trust it until we get a candle to close below this swing low. Otherwise, I'm going to feel like it's going to go back up here and touch the midpoint of this wick. Plus, it's not even 1:30, right? So time, you got to always understand that time is everything. Look at this. Just look at how it's rejecting right there. So this right here, if I was a degenerate, I would rather be trying to take a buy than a sell. Right, I know it sounds crazy, but my trade would look something like this. I would rather take the buy because I don't really trust this sell right here. All right, we need to see this candle close for me to trust the sell. Let's see, this is a hypothetical trade. I'm not taking this, but just for learning purposes, we're going to see if this works, right? Your stop loss would at least have to be down here below this low. So look, it did get it closed, all right? So I definitely wouldn't be buying that. Definitely wouldn't be buying that, but let's see what happened though. I just don't trust anything right now, you guys. I feel like everything is made for a fake out. But at least we got that close on the 1 minute time frame. So the better trade now that we at least had confirmation on the 1 minute, this would be a more realistic trade for me. Right? But I still don't trust it. I will want the market to pull back somewhere up in here, and my stop loss will have to be at the breakaway gap. But honestly, it's so hard to trust this. Let me see. Maybe you could target this low. Don't seem like they pulling back to get nobody though. Let me see on the. I gotta see how this look on the 5 minute too. I just still don't trust it. But like I said, we know it wants to go down here like we've been calling. That was the original call out. That's why I left this on my screen like that. Right. That's why sometimes you got to get off the 1 minute time frame too. So let's see. Let's see what they want to do. Are we going to get a bounce back up, or are we just going down forever? All right, let's see. Let's see, it look like we might get a little bounce right here. We just about swept liquidity right there. This line that I have marked out, just about swept that. We took that out. So we can take this bubble off. So now I'm not as concerned about this liquidity up top anymore. All right, this is, you know, for sure it's looking like it's going to keep going down. So now we're just looking for an entry. I would prefer my entry to be all the way up here. But wait, that's only 23 points. That's only 23 points away. So up, never mind. Might be gone without me, y'all. But hey, look, we caught it. Play the video back. That's why we got this down here. I didn't think the sell-off would start happening this soon. But that's okay. So if we sweep all of this liquidity, it's going to be real hard for me to take a sale. We need to, save something for me. But it's looking like it's just going down. Here we go. Let's see if it can pull back for me. All right, there's nothing wrong with waiting for confirmation. Sometimes you miss it, sometimes you get it. You see we was a little off. If we would have took the buy, we would have got stopped out. So this is how you wait for confirmation. And then on the 5 minute time frame, I still don't like how on a 5 minute, these lows, like it swept these lows and now it's wicking back up. We need to see a 5 minute candle close pretty weak. this thing is coming up a little bit too aggressive at this point. See what I mean? The trickery. Cause now I'm scared to take the sell. Cause it was not supposed to make this breakaway gap coming back up. But this is like a really good setup. It's almost criminal not to take it. But the way this price is looking, I don't think I can trust it. The most I could move my stop loss is like maybe here. But let me see, I'm setting this trade up. The risk to reward on this thing is beautiful, but it just feels like the timing is not right. The risk to reward on this thing is beautiful though. See, look, I don't like the way it's moving right there. It's so hard. It's like this. The risk to reward on this thing is it's amazing. 6-1. I feel like just that alone, I should be taking it, but I am not a fan of this like fake out type of price action, especially after I just told y'all that these two little equal highs up here is stressing me out. You know, then we just came down here and used this as support. It's like, oh man, they trying to fake people out. Let's just wait. We gotta wait now. We gotta wait for more information. I'm going to be so salty if we just drop off right there and I missed that entry. Yeah, I'm not overly in love with the sell no more. I can't get with the sell no more after seeing all of that. I was just telling y'all earlier, bro, like, I thought they was just gonna like wig it back right here and then swing it back up, but now it seems like they really got people believing that it's going down. It's so hard to tell if they're gonna swing it back up one more time or not. But I don't like this big green candle. Like if I'm selling, I don't like that green candle. Oh man. It feels choppy. Check back in with the 5-minute time frame. Yeah, it just feels too choppy in here for me. definitely gonna just look for these buys then. This may be our best opportunity. Just waiting for this buy. I'm about to get these dumbbells or something, bro. I'm about to get to working out. I can't just sit here and do nothing. Ooh. Get our little pump on. Y'all see they tried to fake us out. We ain't fall for that fake out right there. Let's see what the NASDAQ gonna do. Don't seem like it's gonna do nothing right now. They tried to get us in that fake out. We wasn't falling for that. We got too much experience for all of that. Take a look at the 1 minute time frame. I told y'all they was trying to fake out right there. I told y'all they was trying to fake out right there, bro. That's why you gotta wait until at least after 1:30 before you take your first trade. Otherwise, NASDAQ is gonna come with all type of trickery. Yep, it's about to be a lot of back and forth, y'all. So I hope y'all ain't here for nothing that's too exciting, because it don't look like the market is doing too much. But because it's Monday and it's NFP week, I really do think there may be one good move left in the market. Y'all know on the 5-minute time frame, all right, we got this fair value gap, and then we got this inversion on the 5-minute. Like I say, I think, we're going to get down up in here somewhere. Maybe bounce back, just sweep this liquidity. I don't really know if we're going to get to this level right here just yet, you guys, but we're just being patient. I told y'all I can't trust the sell until I see these little swing highs right here taken out. And y'all seen that, it gave us a good sell. I can't even believe that it dropped so much. It was only really 30 points right here because we're on a 1-minute time frame, but it is what it is. We're looking for all of this liquidity to be taken right here. All right, so on the 5-minute time frame, the only thing that happened was when we dropped down, right, we took some liquidity, and then this wick closed. Look at that wick closure right there. So the way that candle closed, it just let me know that we're going to be chopping around for some more time, right? That's why y'all just see me eating some yogurt, chilling out, because at this point we're already green on the day, right? At this point, we're up. I can show you guys again, right? But only if y'all drop a like on the video. Right, only if y'all drop a like on the video, I can show y'all that, we have. I'm not trying to flex, by the way. I'm just showing y'all, right? I did a breakdown earlier on the trades that I took. That's my 100K funded account with Alpha Capital. All right, not trying to flex, y'all, because we took 2 losses earlier on screen. It's just that for some reason my YouTube screen wasn't working. So y'all couldn't see it on YouTube, but if you go follow me on Facebook, it's over there on Facebook. You know, we're also on Kick, we're on Twitch, we're everywhere. But for some reason, my screen didn't go to YouTube earlier. So all right, so let's see what's going on. Are we actually making a move or what? I'm about to go to sleep at this point. All right, based on these 3 green candles, you would think that it's going to go up there and sweep that liquidity. You know, we could use our first presented fair value gap from the 130 session, which would be this gap right here anyway. So we already got that boxed up. All right, let's see what's going to happen. Bro, go back and watch the video, y'all. I told y'all, don't trust no sales until y'all see this liquidity right here swept on the 1 minute time frame. All right, so this is why, you know, learning how to read the 1 minute time frame is so important. It would also help you figure out like how the timing thing works with the sessions, you know. Then if you don't want to be on the 1 minute time frame, you know, you can also just look at the 1 hour chart, right? We marked this out. We got a swing high right here. We want to see this liquidity swept, right? We want to see the market get above here if it can. If it can't, then that's even more of a sign that we're going to go back down. But we would prefer to see the market sweep this liquidity and then, you know, wait for the, you know, 1 hour candle to close and then see which way the market is going to go, right? So that's what we're going to be looking for as well. So we're not really taking any trades. You know, we have ideas on what should happen, but I'm not from the future, so I don't know what's going to happen. As y'all can see, we got this market boxed up. All right, we got this market boxed up. So we don't try to take every trade, you know. Even though we're only up about 480 on our funded account today, 0.5%, it's not that bad, right? Start off green for the week, do something right, feel good about yourself, and then you try to carry that over moving forward, right? I didn't win every trade today, right? I lost 2 trades and I won 2 trades. But because of my risk management, it allowed me to lose 2 right? I can have a 50% winning ratio because I'm going for 1 to 3 risk to reward ratios. So even if I was, only winning half of my trades, because I'm going for 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s, mostly 1 to 3 risk to reward ratios, I can still have a profitable day even when I start the day off with 2 losses. All right, so if y'all could drop a like on this video, I would greatly appreciate that. Make sure to always use code KRACKEN if you guys are going to go check out any prop firms that I have in the link below. I think I'm about to get back to lifting these dumbbells. I thought something was, getting ready to happen right there, but I guess not. All right, seems like we finally getting a spike above this liquidity right here. See, just for learning purposes, let me see right here, the market came down, swept this liquidity. I want to see if that was a 3 to 1. That's almost a 3 to 1. I didn't take it, but I'm just for learning purposes. So let's see. Depending on what type of pullback we get right here, we may actually be able to take a scalp for a buy. Let's see. Let me see. Potential hypothetical trade. Not really looking to get caught up in the chop, honestly. We're gonna see what happens. All right, I feel like this is the safest stop loss to use because the market seems to have a willingness to respect this stop. So I think I'm going to do something like this, maybe. Yep. So let's see. Let's see if this idea works out. All right, and this trade is a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So let me make sure I'm on the 5-minute as well. I definitely want to still be aware as this market pull back. I want to be aware of this down here. Because we could sweep all of this liquidity. I don't want to be trying to buy too soon right there as the market is dropping down. Because we could just sweep right through there and then still, you know, not even touch these gaps right here. So I want to be real careful. All right, so this is just a hypothetical trade idea for a scout. But we want to see how bullish this market is going to stay. You know, but I'm definitely looking to take a buy. If we can get a drop down into these zones down here, I'm definitely looking for a buy. I just want to see, for me to be completely comfortable, I need to see all liquidity get swept. Otherwise, like taking a buy, I'm not going to be comfortable. Taking a sell, I'm not going to be comfortable. That's why we haven't sold yet. I mean, we just swept liquidity right there at one time, right? We swept it, but we did not run it out. So a body needs to close above for us to run that liquidity out. Right? We swept that once and rejected. Let's see what's going to happen again. Right? I told y'all we boxed this wick up on a 1 minute from earlier. We still haven't hit the midpoint of that. So let's see what's going to happen. So we have about 4 more minutes until this 1 hour candle close. I want to see, do the market want to make some type of quick run up above and sweep this liquidity within the next 4 minutes? All right, so pay attention to the time, y'all. Pay attention to the time. All right, look at what time it is. This 1 hour candle is getting ready to close. I just said it a couple seconds ago. I said, are we going to want to sweep this liquidity that we mentioned earlier on a 1 hour time frame? And then let's see how, if we're going to want to close strong or if we're going to close pretty weak, right? So let's see. All right, so you see right there, this is our little high right there. And we can watch this on a 1 hour. On a 1 minute time frame. Right, the old me would have took a buy right there. Right, the new me, I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to take too many trades or and just go for 10-point scalps. Because for one, on Alpha Capital, I have to hold the trade for 2 minutes or more. Right, so I don't know if this trade is going to go all the way up here or not. I can't really trust that scalp right now, but we have about a minute and a half before we can see if this market is going to close above or below this high right here, where this yellow line is at on a 1 hour time frame. That is a swing high. Oh, we're getting some momentum now. We are getting some momentum now, you guys. Let's see how we close. If we can close pretty good, this is going to be a breakaway gap. Right, so if this close up here, this is going to become like a breakaway gap. It's going to come down here, sweep this liquidity. And then that could be the best buy to hold it up. Like I said, if it wants to get there today, I don't know if it's going to get up here today. But if it can, close above, right, it's going to come to a discount zone. Right, and then maybe, I'm not going to say it's going to go all the way up here, but let's say even if it just come back up here, right, that could be the trade idea. Right, we only need one trade idea. I know it's hard to have patience, but we got 7 more seconds before this 1 hour candle close. So on the 1 hour, we're going to look. You see that right there? So look at how that body closed. Right, so look at how that body closed. So that's letting us know that we want to go up. We're going to measure out this wick right here on the 1 hour. Then we're going to go back down to the 1 minute time frame. Look at how we immediately started to reject right there. So this is telling us what? That we're likely going to come sweep this liquidity. We're probably not going to go all the way into this gap. All right, if we do go into this first one, this first orange box, you know, no matter how deep it goes in there, I don't think it's going to close a body within this gap, right? So now that's what we're going to do, right? We're going to be looking at things from the 5-minute time frame. Still using the same range that we mentioned from earlier, right? Where this little red circle is at. Everything is timestamped for you guys. So when we measure this range out, you can see that this yellow line, maybe you can't really see it. I got a million lines on my chart. But you can see that this is going to be the discount zone. All right, so price, when it's this bullish, it don't really have to go into this fair value gap, right? It could, right? We do have an inversion down here as well. So that obviously, if you're going to be trying to buy from here, your stop loss has to be safe, right? Don't be fancy like me and try to, you know, use the breakaway gap. Right? You have to wait for that information because we don't know where it's going to go. It could just go right here, right? It could just go like that, bounce up. This is still almost a 1 or 2. Obviously, the lower it goes, the better off I'll be, right? So like, let's say if it did go there, that's what I was saying. I might use a stop loss like this, because I don't think that we should be, you know, going this far down if we're going to drop below. Bare minimum, this right here. That at least offer a 2 to 1. All right. But we also don't know how far it's going to go up. If we knew it was going to go all the way up there, you know, the risk to reward would be a little bit better. So what we're going to do is have some patience, right? Since we don't know how far it's going to go, we just have to wait and see. In the meantime, in between time, we might be able to catch a sale. You know, even though I don't really want to do counter trend, we just going to have to wait and see on the sale. All right, I'm not going to get y'all excited on the counter trend, because I don't want to be counter trend. I'd rather just wait for the buy. If they don't give me the buy, then I just don't do anything. That's what a disciplined trader would do. All right, but I'm going to definitely be watching because, all right, we just hit the top of this new week opening gap right here, this purple box. I measured out that wick on the 1 hour. That's that orange box up there. If we go back up here and hit this midpoint or do anything like that and start to reject again, who knows? Maybe I'll put a small position on for a sale, right? I'm only up 0.5% today, so I don't really want to do too much as far as counter trend. I don't want to waste any money on counter trend unless it's like showing me that it's really ready to go. Then I'll get in there. But right now, it's not really showing me that. It's just bounced off of this 1 minute order block right here, right? It's still respecting everything that's going to the upside. So, unfortunately, trading is a waiting game. I wish I could make it exciting, you know, and be playing all of the cool music. But it's not exciting, right? It's not that exciting at all. Right? But we just hit the midpoint of this wick, like I told you guys. Right, so if we go to the 1 hour, let me show you all how it look on the 1 hour. Right, bam, we just hit the midpoint right there. So now we're going to be watching to see, do price want to stay below this wick, right? The old me would have got too excited. I probably would have already tried to start selling, but the new me, it's like you really want to wait, right? Because we did get a close above this level right here on the new week opening gap, right? On a 1 hour chart. So we definitely want to have some patience. We're looking for a pullback, but the market does not have to pull back at all. It can just keep going. So that's why taking the sell is a little bit risky. So far we're getting a decent little rejection right there. You know, if we get below this swing low, right? If we get below this swing low right here, these two green candles will become an order block. I may look to take a sell off of something like that, right? I honestly want to take a sell already, but I'm trying to not, you know, get in there too early. It's only 2:06. Last thing I want to do is be getting chopped around for the next 30 minutes, stressing me out. But this is like a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. If it was to work, right? So the stop loss would have to be something like this. So look, that's a 4-to-1. So yeah, I think I might end up putting a little small position on this trade. You know, I should wait for confirmation, but it just looks so clean. So I'll put a very small position on. I'm gonna risk $155 on my funded account.